Big inhale. Pause. Slow exhale. Big inhale. Slow exhale. Big inhale, inflating our lungs, kind of at this diagonal position. Makes us feel a little differently as we embrace gravity. We can feel that. It's distinguishable, it's discernible, it's a felt property in this state of consciousness. Slow exhale. You decompress the lungs. You settle into a more relaxed uh, state of consciousness. Big inhale. Pause. Slow exhale. Big inhale. Slow exhale. One more. Big inhale. Slow exhale. I will do one more. Big inhale. Slow exhale. Okay, so that was a little bit of meditation. That was a little bit of participating in the practice of meditation. And so, what did we do? Well, we did a practice and focused on our breath. So we did this breathing practice. And the breathing practice is that you breathe real slow and as big as you can. And take your most time with it that you can. And you also do the same on the exhale, the exhaust of the cycle. And as a result, we slowed our heart rate. And I think that it places us cognitively in an environment or a state of consciousness held stably within the environment, or at least outdoors. Um, and I meditate inside as well. But if you can meditate outdoors, I highly recommend it. Um, so it induces this state of consciousness because the heart rate is slowing. And so probably physiologically, uh, the brain is more adapted to a slower rate of consciousness. Um, I think that with all the modern technology and the rate at which we've increased data uh, uh, traversing speed, um, and how much we have participated in that process. Um, I think life goes a lot faster now. Is experienced a lot quicker. And I think this practice of slowing down, where you slow the heart rate down and you induce this quality of consciousness in which your being is at a place of your heart rate is slowing down. I think it kind of gives you, I think it's a practice which gives you and your mind a competitive edge while it embraces or interprets reality. Um, because of this induced biological state, the state of consciousness, which is produced, and then you practice it, and you experience more of it, and more of it, and more of it. And so, just as we did this practice today, which we noticed, we tried to make distinguishable some of the properties or qualities about those state of consciousnesses in the cycle of a breath, kind of the life cycle of a breath, the beginning and the end, and how the body felt. Um, so just in that practice that we did, this idea of becoming more aware, you can see how it is pretty intuitive because you're turning your brain on, you're asking a different question of your brain uh, than what it may be. It's asking a question in which probably operates the brain differently than just your tribal life, just your tribal living. Just responding to data and stimuli, just as you just are doing your life. I think it interacts with the brain differently. I think it asks the brain a kind of a different a question which is really coming from a different place in the psyche. It's more of a question of how do you know the self, or how do you discover the self, which is an awareness. You must become aware of yourself. And so, um, yeah, within that practice of noticing the different properties within those states of consciousness within the cycle of the breath, you can see how where the thinking is going. It's going in this direction of becoming more aware, of becoming more uh, almost synchronized with your body and with the way in which you might more naturally approach reality or exist to sum it up. Um, and so yeah, so what you're doing is you're participating in this practice, and this practice is making you slow down and probably interact with your brain better, your physiology better. Um, and like I said, I think it gives your brain more of a chance as it plays its game to interpret reality. I think it gives it more of an opportunity to, well, for example, like what we practiced, there was your brain participating in the thought experiment of noticing the qualities about the cycle, about your breath cycle. And so I think it engages the brain it places a brain in a situation where whatever hierarchies are guiding it are kind of kind of getting data and placing it in bins or something along the lines of becoming more aware of yourself. And so it will, I think, reveal, like I said, this is your own journey because your own odyssey, because it's you, at the end of the day. Um, your life is you. And and so I think that this converse that you could be noticing about yourself by becoming more aware is attainable, is noticeable, can be distinguishable. Can there is a pathway to converse and have converse about these type of ideas and the idea of the self, um, and kind of the practices that will probably enhance your ability to participate in that pathway, like meditation, and focusing on your breath and asking your mind to do something which is a little bit different than I think how it normally participates in it's the life cycle of a day, as as you just living a tribal life. You're just living, just keeping up with society. Kind of what's asked of the individual, um, in in the West is to participate in society and culture and keep up. And so that type of stimuli or that type of data, which is, stimuli and will elicit those, responses to that game within you. Meditation is going to be a little different. It's going to ask a different question. It's going to ask you to kind of become more aware of yourself, more aware of your body, more aware of your psyche, your physiology, um, kind of all the stuff that makes up the constitutes a human being. So your physiology, your psychology, your philosophy, your biology, all those type of things. I think meditation and mindfulness is a converse about how do you kind of find some type of synchronicity in all of that, in the midst of all that.